spending money on marketing, you've actually got some high quality, you've got a high quality app that you know works. So, how you can help, our final sort of thing, please try the app. Who have you spotted? Has anyone spotted anyone? Have you been to a rock concert? Have you been to have you seen anybody walking out the door? He might be a very low-key celebrity, but anyone you might have spotted, you know, put them in. I think Klaus is here. Klaus is, oh, you've already put someone in. How did you find it?
Yeah,
worked fine, yeah. Elle McPherson, and that then popped up on my newsfeed, and I now know Klaus has spotted Elle McPherson, and we've had he's much cooler than I am, yeah. Feature ideas, we're really interested in any feature ideas. If you look at the app and think, oh, this is a bit sort of, I've got this, they've missed a trick, tell us what it is. Link ups, do you know who we should talk to and blog about it? Tell us, you know, talk about it. So if you think it's not going to work, if you think it's going to work, tell us, because all of this sort of stuff will help us as application developers improve it. Cool, so that's it. Any questions? Yeah.
How are you doing the contextual ads? Are you doing those yourselves, or is that?
Yeah, so we're running our own context ads. We've got an ad system, but we're talking to there's a company called App Savvy,
yeah,
who we're talking to about sort of general branding and awareness type stuff.
Maybe you mentioned this before I came in the room, but how many people were working on the app, and about how long did it take you to build it?
Yeah, so we had it's about, well, in terms of the whole team, we've had about 5 of us, varying between marketing and team, and it's taken us, how long has it been? About a month?
Yeah.
A month and a half, 2 months? What did you?
Yeah, about a month and a half.
About a month and a half, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Where did you get all your list of celebrities from, and how do you class them?
It's a bit, the A-list, B-list, C-list, Z-list is chosen by the user. So when they upload their spot, they decide whether it's A, B, C or Z. And then it's up to their friends to challenge them and say there's absolutely no way that person's an A-list or a Z-list or whatever. So you get to choose. I mean, I think that's something, I quite like the idea of it being completely random and actually being a big joke. But we decided that was all a bit too random. So maybe it was better to stick with something that made sense to people. And the list of celebrities basically came from somebody sitting down and going through Heat and just doing all the ones that they could possibly think of, and then doing a whole load more, and then doing some more. And at the moment we've got a database of how many celebrities, I'm not sure, about 500. It's not that many yet at the moment, but obviously that's something that we basically have written into the app management tool, so that when somebody uploads a spot that we haven't got in our database, we instantly are able to check to see, and we actually do that. At the moment, while it's still manageable, Melissa and I actually do that 2 or 3 times a day. We just check, because the one thing that we did notice was that the one thing that's was really putting off some users was that they didn't get to see a picture straight away, and they wanted to feel like they had some kind of connection with the app immediately, not just their spot going up, but that there was something coming back. There was actually some repayment from the interaction with the app, which seemed to be very important. So, I mean, just on that basic point, and just feeding in something else, which I'm sure I don't know a lot about application development, but it was something that was seemed incredibly important, was actually the research that went into the app before we started, and making sure that we had looked into how it was going to work on a very basic level. So getting a really good photo agency on board was really important to us, so that we had the material, we actually had the content to get up there in the first place, and that the content was copyright cleared. Because one thing we did was we looked into a load of apps that featured celebrity kind of images, you know, like whose booty, whatever. And it seemed that when we emailed them and asked them where they were getting their images from, they were all kind of like, and basically they weren't copyright cleared. And we decided that if we were going to do it seriously and do it properly, the really important thing was to actually get the images and negotiate with a picture library to get the images. And it kind of depends, you know, it depends what you're doing. We're using, obviously, potentially thousands of images, so that absolutely has to be well sorted out. But it was something that we kind of took very seriously, and also looking into other things as well as copyright, privacy, and making sure that the concept was watertight before we started even getting on board with the development.
You said that celebrities could pay you to opt in and opt out of the service. So how much would Jay Goody, for example, pay to not be featured?
That's quite an interesting... you might end up in some kind of bidding war, because in the process of researching this, we found out that the picture agency that we're working with have made, and I won't give you any specific numbers, but let's say between £1 and £1.5 million of license rights for photos of Jade Goody alone. So it's an enormous, enormous business, just the pictures themselves. And so it's quite amazing. I mean, it's kind of like, yeah, what?
So you won't say take 20 quid to get her off?
No way, Jose.
No, we'll take your 20 quid today if you want to pay. No problem.
I can send you a few of our spare pictures if you like.
No, I want her out of the So does that mean if I've got a photo of me with someone, can I upload
You
that?
can, absolutely, yeah. That's one of the things that we really would like to encourage users to do. And at the moment, you'd have to do that via just the regular upload from, say, from your desktop. But what we're hoping to do with version 2 potentially is to have a direct upload from your phone, so you can be out and out, take a picture, and then upload it straight to your spotted profile, so that you can instantly show your friends that you were out with so and so earlier.
Do you know that you can use the API to take photos from people's albums if they've already uploaded it into Facebook?
Something I don't know.
Just a question about
Yes. Basically, what we're avoiding is that we're not asking for the copyright pictures that people upload, and that's actually principally one of the input on that came from the photo library guy that we're working with, saying that if you start kind of assuming people's copyright by, say, a small print in your terms and conditions, you actually end up pissing people off more than you actually make from it. It kind of everyone feels a bit seedy about it. So in a way, it's better to license it from them if you go down that road to revenue, rather than actually just kind of trying to make it, because then everyone will just go online and say Spotted are trying to rip you off and take your pictures, and then nobody will use you.
I was thinking more along the line of status for the user who uploads pictures of either themselves with celebrities could be worth more than the
Oh, what, points-wise?
So yeah, they
yes.
somehow create their own status
Yes.
paparazzi.
Yeah, yes. We have talked about that, but at the moment that isn't a feature of the app. Yes.
You mentioned that one of your revenue streams is the sponsors, but obviously Picasso is some sort of joint venture. Are you guys not actually an existing sponsor of this app? Or what do you get actually? What do you consumer facing as a brand?
We wanted to do it far more under the radar than that. We don't want it to be a Picasso picture app, because our main brand is associated with making TV commercials. This was kind of like a offshoot for us. So it's something that we kind of quite like to kind of take a nod at, but it's not something that we absolutely, but yes, we financed it, but we wanted to bring in other people, because we only wanted to pay for it so far, and then it would be nice to kind of start getting other income streams coming in to kind of move it on and make new versions and kind of expand it to other kind of directions.
Yeah, but in answer to your question, I mean, it's a separate company, so it's not a Nudge company or a Picasso. It's Spotted is its own company.
Yeah.
So anyone can sponsor it, do whatever they want with it.
Yeah.
And obviously, you're doing this as some kind of joint venture. Do you think that's a model? It's quite an interesting model that a kind of development agency works with a client to create a new business, as it were, where you share revenues. Do you think that's a model that's going to be repeated?
It's worked so far.
Works.
Yeah, it's actually working well, because I think in a way what you're doing is you're bringing two lots of different skill sets together and making the best of both of them. And something that, apart from the actual kind of scripting that obviously Nudge can bring to it, is they're bringing a whole load of expertise that I can't possibly bring to it. Whereas there's elements of finance and marketing that I can bring to it. So it's kind of bringing two completely different worlds together to make something that actually, which is very strong.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you very much. Thanks for listening.